Hey, what is up, guys? Gangsta Jeweler here. So today we are working on a ring that comes to us from one of our local stores, and this is what I would call a real man's ring. Look at that shank. That shank is nice and thick. It's fairly wide, but not obscenely too wide. But look how nice and thick that is. That is definitely one I would wear. Look at that. Fits my finger perfect too. It's a 13 now. Let's see. Fits the other one pretty good too. A little big for the pinky. It fits that one pretty good. But at any rate, this is a 13. It's a big boy. That's a nice ring though. I love that shank. It's nice and thick. But we're going from a 13. You see right now we're on a 13. Actually, we're bigger than 13. We're like 13 and a quarter. So, well, it depends. On one side it's kind of a 13. See, this is why I say you need to make sure it's the right size on each side of your rings when you size them. Because see, on that side it's a 13. On this side, it's a 13 and a quarter. So I need to make sure the same size on each side. So, looks like we're going to be going... In this particular case, we're going to err on the side of caution. We're going to say it's 2 and a quarter sizes because it's on a 13 over here, but it kind of wants to go down to a quarter. So we're going to call it a 2 and a quarter that we're going down. That's what we're going to say for now, anyways. So with that said, let's go ahead and get our marker here. Let's get us a 2 and a quarter. There we go. And we're going to make sure we're right at the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and mark our spot here. And just rake it across. And you see we got 2 lines. One there, one there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut that. Damn, that thing is hard to cut. That thing's so thick. Alright, now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and file these sides down real quick with our cutting disc. We'll use a cutting disc to do that. And I gotta find my foot pedal because it's went way under the table for some reason. And we're just gonna file these sides down. Now, being as thick and as wide as the shank is, we may have to use more than just one piece of solder to weld it together, which is fine. And now we just need to look for our crimpers. There they are. Now what we need to do is go ahead and get these to meet together. We don't have any stones coming down the side, so we don't really have to worry about that. It's a nice little stone in there. It's a nice ring. I wouldn't mind having it for myself. And we're just going to gently crimp these down till they meet. We don't have any stones on the side, so we ain't got to worry. We can kind of grab up here a little bit, up to the side here a little bit, because we don't have, although it looks like hollow sides, it's very solid, so we don't really have to worry about that. But still, you don't want to take it and yank it real hard. Just do it in little increments to bring it together. And even if it's a little ovaled, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. And pull that down. And we'll pull that down. And being that we're going down 2 1/4 sizes, we are going to be a little bit oblong. Not oblong, I mean oval. But that's okay. Once we got it welded, we can straighten it back out. And you want to get it to meet as close as possible. You want it to be as tight as you can get it. Alright, I think that's going to be about the closest we get right there. Alright guys, so you see we got our piece back together there. We're a little bit oval, like I said. That's not a big deal. Now if you suspect, you know, you've seen it in a couple other videos where I've had pieces that have bleach and chlorine damage. Now if you suspect this doesn't have any bleach or chlorine damage, if you suspect and you feel, and it's really weird because after you've done it a while, you can touch a piece and feel it, and just by the texture you can almost tell that it's been in bleach or chlorine. But if it's been exposed to bleach or chlorine, then you need to be extra careful, because if it's brittle and you bend it like this, it could start cracking on the sides here, or on the sides here, or just have part of the shank just come completely off, and then you have a whole nother problem to deal with. So that's just something to keep in mind. You know, you're not going to come across that very often, but you will come across it occasionally. You just got to be very mindful of that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and dip the whole ring in boric acid denatured alcohol here. And we're going to switch to a 5 tip. You could use a 5 or a 6 tip if you wanted, especially on the wider, thicker shanks, which is usually going to be your men's rings. I think I turned my torches on, or my tanks on. Maybe I didn't. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and set this on fire, burn that off, get that going. Let that burn off. And like I've said in other videos, you know, that puts a nice little fire coating around the ring for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces of solder because we're probably going to have to use 2, just because of how wide and thick this ring is. Alright, and then we're going to grab our flux. Ah, damn it. Drop my brush. There we go. And put us a little bit of flux on there. And then, see if I can't get you guys zoomed in here. See if we can't get this sucker welded. Now it is a thicker shank, so you're probably going to want to heat the shank up a little bit to get it hot. Treat it kind of almost like you do silver, where you got to heat the piece up a little more. And remember guys, what I'm telling you is not always gospel. I'm just giving you, like I said, in jewelry repair, there's many different ways to do certain things and get the same result. I'm just giving you a base guideline. You can add your flair to it. You know, you don't have to do it exactly how I do it. You might find that you're more comfortable doing it a particular way, which is fine. There's in jewelry repair, there can be many different ways to get the same end result. I'm just trying to give you guys a base guideline. We're going to come at this from the top for a second here. Yeah, that piece went through. Alright, we need to pull just a little bit more through there. That is a thick shank, boy. That sucker is thick. I don't know who's getting this ring, man, but they'd be happy with this thing. At least they ought to be. If they ain't happy, take your ring back. Keep it for yourself. Because this is definitely one hell of a ring. One hell of a ring. There we go. I want to pull one more piece through there, and then I think we will be good. Now, I made a video about witch stones a while back that you can put heat to and can cool in water right away. And remember, Red, white, and blue you can put in water, but even though you can do that, I always like to err on when we're dealing with gemstones and they're not diamonds. If they're diamonds, I'll put it in water right after to cool it down. But otherwise, even though you can put rubies and sapphire in there without them shattering, if it's gemstones, I always like to err on the side of caution. Let it cool down naturally. I like to put it on a mandrel to let it cool that way. But just to err on the side of caution, don't put it in water, because you'll shatter the stone, and then that makes for a real bad day. I gotta adjust my torch here a little bit. But just err on the side of caution. Remember, especially if you're just starting out, it's always better to err on the side of caution. Like if you're not used to using the torch. There we go. We got our ring welded together there. Let me zoom you back out. Like if you're not used to using a torch, err on the side of caution. Use a smaller flame and then work your way up. It's better to start small than to start too big and burn the piece up. And unfortunately, like I said, I can show you guys this. I can give you the idea of how to do it. But practice is going to be everything. You know, like torch skills, you only really learn that by doing it. So, you know, it's like anything else. Practice makes perfect. Yeah, that looks good. Looks good. Let's stick this on the mandrel. That'll help cool it off a little faster. Alright, we'll let this sit there and cool for a second. While we're waiting on that to cool, I'm gonna be making a video probably right after this ring here. We got a size from I think it's a 9 going to a 10. I'm not sure though. But that'll be in the next video. Alright, let's see. That's still pretty hot. But yeah, because of that stone, even though it's red, we could probably put that in water. Red, white, and blue will take heat. And you could put it in water to cool it. But just on gemstones, I always err on the side of caution. Just let it naturally cool down. Don't try to rush it. Now, if it's diamonds and you know it's diamonds, right after you're done, you can throw it in water if you want to. Or if you'd like to err on the side of caution, just wait for it to cool down. You know? It's always better to be safe than sorry. Always. Still a little warm to the touch there. Now, being that it's a thicker shank, we had to put a lot more heat to it, so it's going to take a little bit longer for that to cool off. That is a nice ring though, man. I'll tell you, if they don't want it and you don't want to keep it, I'll take it. I'm joking. It is a nice ring though. But alright, we can touch it now. That's good. Now you can see right now we're a little ovaled. So what we're going to do, we're not going to use our ball peen hammer. We're going to use a rubber mallet. This doesn't smash the metal. This just helps round it back out. And we're just going to kind of tap on each side here while we're holding the ring. And this rubber mallet doesn't do any major damage, as long as you're not, you don't want to hit hard. You just tap. Remember, gold and silver is a soft metal, so it don't take a whole lot to get it to move around. I'm just going to keep rounding this thing out. Alright, this is the side that really needs to. Alright, we are fairly rounded here. Fairly rounded. It is a nice ring, man. Alright, before we go do any more tapping, you can see we got it rounded back out now. But before we do that, let's clean this inside up just a hair. Just a hair bit. With a rock on the inside. And let's grab our rock here. Alright, before we go doing any more filing, let's see where we're at. So we are pretty much right at about 11. It's 11 there. And it's kind of like a tight 11 there. Now remember, we want to make sure it's the same size on both sides. So it's 11 there. It's 11 there. And it's 11 there. Now we're not going to do any more tapping because we still got a little more filing that we got to do. And by the time we do that and clean it up, that'll probably loosen it up on that one side and make it not a tight 11. So it's pretty close. Alright, you guys. Let's go ahead and switch to the outside rock real fast. And do the other side of the shank there. File it down real quick. Just going to use our rock here. Just to get it even, and then we'll come back with a silicone wheel and smooth it out a little bit. Alright, now let's go ahead and get our wedge here. Grab our metal file. And let's go ahead and file these sides down, make them even again. Get them looking even again. And remember, you don't have to push hard. You push too hard, you're going to groove the sides. Just lightly. We just want to lightly push. Okay, let me file this. Switch to our inside rock again real quick. There's a little edge there that I want to try to get filed down. Little edge on the inside there. There we go, that's better. Okay. Do just a little bit more filing on this side. Okay, now let's go to the other side here. And we're just going to file till we get the sides even. And remember, we don't have to push hard. Just light strokes. Alright, now we're going to go across the top here, kind of even out these corners a little bit. Then we need to kind of smooth out the top here, even it out a little bit. So we'll go across it with a file. Alright guys, alright, let's see where we're sitting. 11 on the money. 11 on the money, guys. We are an 11. Okay. Do just a little bit more filing on this side. Just a tiny little bit. Alright, I think that's going to be pretty good, guys. Let's go ahead and swap to our inside silicone wheel and get the inside smoothed out. All right. Alright guys, kind of catch these insides of these underneath the head here a little bit. Alright guys, let's go ahead and switch to our other silicone wheel so we can do the back side of the shank and the sides of the ring. We got a lot of scratches up here. See the difference in that? See how smooth that is, and see all these scratches over here? And basically all we're doing is just smoothing out the scratches, getting it ready to go polish on the buffer. Alrighty. Go ahead and hit these sides up a little bit. Well, it had some pretty deep scratches in there. Alright guys, and we're just going to kind of hit the inside there a little bit. Just kind of get any rough edges out of there. Alright, let's head to the other side now. Damn, I don't know who had this ring before, man, but they were beating the shit out of this thing, boy. They was. We're going to kind of just run right through the inside here a little bit. Alright guys, I believe we're about ready to go get this thing polished up. Hell yeah. Alright, you can see we got it back together. We got us a nice even ring again. Let's do this top part a little more here. There we go. Alright guys, we got it. Let's check the size on it one more time. 11 on the money. Living on the money. Alright guys, well, we are ready to go get this thing polished and cleaned. I'm gonna go drop it in the ultrasauna real quick, let it clean up, and then we'll be back and look at the finished product, guys. Be right back. Alright guys, we are back with that ring. You can see we got it nice, clean, and polished. Got fingerprints and shit all over it, but trying to keep as much of it off of there as I can. Kind of hard though, but got it nice, clean, polished. Got it sized from a 13 to an 11, and got it looking nice. I hate touching them after I polished them, man. I don't like getting the fingerprints on them, man. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. If you would like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, the link for that will be down in the description, although it's not required. I just appreciate you guys watching. Also, if you'd like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop, which I'll have the link for that down in the description. And also, if you would like to check out my Kick reaction stream channel, it's something I'm just kind of starting up right now, nothing big, but I'll have the link for that down in the description. And then also my other YouTube channel, which is basically where all my live streams go. I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. But I appreciate you guys watching, and special shout out to Alex. He's probably been my most faithful one. And I'm sure there's a couple others that have been faithful too. I appreciate all y'all. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. That's another repair down. And I will see you on the next one, guys. Take care.